we're on.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? And today is NFL picks for week 3. Week 2 was not too bad. I mean, our records for the week were decent. I was 9-7. Both Sam and Serbensky were 10-6. Poor Serbensky still had that week 1 dud, though. Which, it's killing him right now. But, is what it is. I'm sure he'll come back, though. I'm sure he'll make up some ground in these next few weeks. But
I'm doing good in college. That's about it.
I mean, yeah, you're doing well in the NCAA. You guys got 2-game lead on me, so there's that. And Sam's got 1-game lead on me now. As to the first 2 weeks now, through NFL, I'm 20-12. Sam is 21-11, and then Serbensky is 17-15. And if you don't know in college football, both Sam and Serbensky are 40-22, and then I'm 38-24. I have the lead though in Shockers of the week still, just saying. But we'll get this video started here, and we start with the Carolina Panthers on the road against the Houston Texans on Thursday night. Believe it or not, these teams have actually looked a lot better than expected. I looked at this game, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then I look at the first 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, wow, they're actually 2-0 and 1-1. That's probably more wins than they're expected to have all year long. But I don't know as much about the Panthers, but, I mean, Houston probably was supposed to go like 0-16. Instead, 0-17 or 17 games this year. But they're probably supposed to go 0-17. Instead, they actually win a game, but
against the team that's actually going to go 0-17.
Yeah, there you go. But you got the Carolina Panthers on the road against the Houston Texans. Sam Darnold has looked okay so far. He hasn't been great, but he's been decent for Carolina. And especially with Tyrod Taylor being in question for Houston and also Nico Collins now being gone, I got the Carolina Panthers winning this one on the road. And no Sam today, so it'll just be me and Jacob again.
Panthers a little bit more that good. They're out. Sam Darnold looked decent enough. Christian McCaffrey is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Panthers just beat the Saints last week. They beat them in New Orleans, I think. Or not in New Orleans.
No, it was at home.
No, it was at home. They're not in New Orleans still. They're still not in New Orleans, the same. But yeah, no, Panthers, I mean, they still beat the Saints. So, give it Carolina Panthers.
All right, and now we have the, still cracks me up when I have to say this, but the Washington football team on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I watched the Washington football team against the Giants. That was bad.
Give me the Bills.
Well, no, I'm talking about last week when Washington played the Giants last week.
Oh, I'm still saying give me the Bills.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, I watched Washington last week against the Giants. That was bad. And, when we did the off-season reviews, I said the Giants would have a good year and that they would win the NFC East. I take everything that I said about the Giants back. They suck, okay? They look terrible. And honestly, Joe Judge needs to be fired. Honestly, it's a terrible head coach. With how much talent they have on that team, with how good the Giants are. They have so many playmakers, so many players that can make plays on that team, yet they're 0-2. How? Their team is somehow so bad, but so good. And that's because of the head coach. And no one likes Joe Judge either for the Giants. So really just, it looked bad when they hired him. It looks even worse now. But anyways, I'm not talking about them. Washington looked bad too, which is solely why I'm taking the Bills to blow them out. Washington.
The Bills blanked a pretty good Miami team in Miami.
That too. Bills have. Outside of that Pittsburgh game, they have been very good. And Washington, with how many gifts the Giants gave them, would have lost if the Giants hadn't jumped off sides and given them another kick to win the game. Giants. Guys, it's one thing to blow. is one thing to blow big touchdowns and it's one thing to blow touchdowns and do that, but it's another thing to blow the game on a missed field goal because you jumped off sides. It's so undisciplined. Uh,
Well, looking at the team that is blowing leads, so that would be a fun pick later on. Yeah, I mean, the Bills blamed a good Miami team in Miami last week. Good in the Bills.
Yep. And now we got the Chicago Bears on the road against the Cleveland Browns. I don't know why, but I feel like this is a game that the Browns would lose, but I'm still.
It's such a Browns game to lose.
Yeah, it's such a Browns game to lose, but I'm still going with not Bears, Browns. I'm sorry.
Holy
I'm still
crap.
going with the Browns to win this one. It should be a decent game. Honestly, it depends on the health of the Browns receiving core because OBJ is still hurt, and Jarvis Landry just got hurt and he's out multiple weeks. So if the Cleveland Browns' number one receiver has to become Donovan Peoples-Jones, no offense to DPJ, but that's not good. So if the Browns don't have any health in that receiving core, they could be in for some trouble, but still give me the Browns in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the Browns fans are happy to be good. Their tickets as low as $115 for nosebleeds. Yeah, I mean, give me the Browns. They're the Browns. They can lose any game.
All right, and I'm not even going to question who we're picking for this one. I'm just gonna pick it for us. Baltimore Ravens are beating the Detroit Lions. I mean, I want to be a Lions fan, but this is Baltimore we're talking about, who just took down the Kansas City Chiefs.
I just want to win Thanksgiving. That's what I care about at this point. As long as we can beat the Bears on Thanksgiving, it's a good season.
That I don't even know if we can do that, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. Team with our only win being the Bears on Thanksgiving.
All right, and now we have the Indy Colts on the road against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee benefited from some very undisciplined play from Seattle last week on the road. Big win for Tennessee. I was very disappointed with Seattle on that. They really should have won, and just like the Giants, they basically gave the game away by committing a million penalties that they just didn't need to, like stupid penalties like taunting and late hit out of bounds. This stuff that just is not necessary, and that's the kind of stuff that annoys the crap out of me. Because there's one thing to just commit a penalty and that blows a touchdown. I mean, that's obviously unfortunate, and like the next team we're gonna talk about, God, they blow that game, the Chargers. But I mean, it's one thing to commit a penalty like a holding or something like that, and that blows the touchdown, but a late hit out of bounds, a taunting, like that kind of stuff, that's unacceptable. That stuff that should be cleaned up. That just is bad. But now we have the Indy Colts on the road against Tennessee. Indy has a lot of health problems. Tennessee is looking finally like they're back to full strength after a miserable start against Arizona, then heading to Seattle, and then Derrick Henry became Derrick Henry again. He'll be Derrick Henry against the Colts. Colts have problems with Wentz having sprains in both ankles somehow. I'm trying to figure out how that was possible. Sprained both ankles, so probably not playing against Tennessee.
Carson Wentz has not been great this year. I have fantasy. I'm not happy with it.
All right, making a quick adjustment here because I really don't.
Chargers future also can't.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be going the same thing. Sorry about that. Just trying to make a quick switch there. Trying to uh, make it a little even now because I don't need to show the times for the games. To be honest with you, you guys know what's happening. But the LA Chargers, they really blew that game last week against the Cowboys. Did you see that game against Dallas? I
A
mean,
little bit.
oh my gosh, that was so bad. I mean, they they should have won that game, and they just kind of like Seattle, kind of like the Giants, just penalty after penalty. Especially when they had like a million touchdowns in line. They had gotten so many touchdowns. They had the game in hand, and then another like, oh, they scored a touchdown. Oh, there's a penalty. Hey, they scored a touchdown. Oh, there's a penalty. Like that happened like 4 or 5 times. That shouldn't happen. And having that kind of an issue against the Kansas City Chiefs, you can't have. So I have the Chiefs winning this one. And then the next one is a really fun one: the New Orleans Saints on the road against the New England Patriots. This is a really good game. I'm very curious to see how the Saints play after a not good game against the Panthers. The Patriots just bombed the Jets. What a surprise. I think this is a game that goes either way. I will give a very slight edge to New Orleans. I think they make this one very close. Or I'm sorry, I think New England makes it very close, but I have the Saints pulling off a very close game in New England in Gillette Stadium, and now I go to Jacob.
I don't like uh, Saints. I think the Saints are kind of upset that they just lost the divisional game, so I think they're ready to bounce back. I just have, I don't know this year. I know I was about to say he doesn't play well.
Now
Um,
it is famous Janus.
it's but yeah, I think the Saints are good enough for this game. And now
The Atlanta Falcons or the New York Giants?
over the Atlanta, I don't like the Giants and how they played thus far. I still think they're better than the Falcons, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Giants thing to do.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games that I could see going either way. I don't like this pick, but for some reason I'm taking Atlanta. I just saw them last week put up a fight against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah, they blew it late. Tampa Bay became Tampa Bay again, but Atlanta has a potent offense. They don't really have the defense, but they have a potent offense, and I see them definitely scoring points on that giant defense. And I don't know if the Giant offense is really going to be able to keep up with it. And as much as I thought the Giants were good, they're really bad. They might be last in the NFC East, but I have Atlanta winning this one. It'll be a surprise, but I have the Falcons taking it. Or they just blow the game like they always do. You never know. But next we have the Cincinnati Bengals on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, I don't know how I screwed this up, but these two teams actually, you see the other game with Arizona Jacksonville, but somehow for Pittsburgh and Jacksonville, I screwed up the spellings on both of them. And also, we apologize for not having an episode about week 2. All of us were very busy. We didn't really have the opportunity to get the video out there, so we made our picks, and I already told you the records at the beginning, but somehow I screwed up the spelling on Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. I left out an L in Jacksonville, and then I, for some reason, put in another I for Pittsburgh, so I said Pittsburgh. But if you guys notice any other spelling issues I've screwed up and I just haven't seen it yet, just let me know. I'll fix it. But anyways, we have the Cincinnati Bengals on the road against Pittsburgh. I like Joe Burrow. I like Jamar Chase. I like the Steelers a lot better, especially at Heinz Field. I actually visited Heinz Field. Really cool place. Anyway, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bengals only because of Ben Roethlisberger, the Ben Roethlisberger uncertainty. that pectoral injury. So I don't know if he's even going to be playing. And it's probably not going to be playing at 100%. I know the Steelers' defense is really good. Lose at home to the Raiders. I think the Bengals are a pretty explosive offensive team. I think if they can just get a couple plays to throw their way, I think they have a chance to beat the Steelers. Solely because of the Ben Roethlisberger uncertainty.
All right, and now we have the home team of Jacob, the Arizona Cardinals, on the.
We've seen the game. Also the Jaguars.
Well, of course, we have to do all the games for the NFL, so a lot of them are really easy. But yeah, I have Arizona winning, obviously, as well. Jacksonville doesn't look good. The next one's going to be really easy as well, as it's the. Huh?
Broncos have looked good.
Yeah, Broncos have been very good, and now they get to play the New York Jets at home. Who do you think's going to win? Let me ponder this one for a moment. Give me the Broncos.
My boss, Jones or Teddy Bridgewater. I'm like, at this point, Daniel Jones has the better targets, but Teddy Bridgewater is the better quarterback.
If you're really trying to pick up one of those two guys, that's sad.
Well, as his backup.
That's still sad for a backup.
He's not going to really need him too much.
True.
But yeah, that's his backup. All right, this next one, again, I think it's not that hard to do. The Raiders have exceeded all of my Ravens. Then go find the woodshed. So, Miami, which team in my fantasy draft right now? So, Miami.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game. Just a side note about those two, about the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Recognize how the Pitt Panthers and Miami Florida Hurricanes both played at home. Both of them lost. The next day, both NFL teams play in the same stadium. Both of them end up losing. Anything seem a little fishy there to you? Anyway, but Miami against Las Vegas. The Raiders have been very hot to start off the year. Ended up winning that game at home against Baltimore. Then had that big win against Pittsburgh. Miami had a sluggish game against the Patriots. They ended up winning. And then got dominated by the Bills. Raiders at home, I think, are going to be too much for the Dolphins. Give me Las Vegas. And I'm sure Sam will just pick the same thing, but I'll leave it up to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Packers 49ers. I still think Buccaneers and Rams should have been the Sunday night game, and Packers 49ers should have been the America's game of the weekend. But honestly, they look like the two best teams. The Rams, for me, in every game except for the Cardinals twice. Huge Matt Stafford. I'd love to see him succeed. I'd love to see the Rams win the Super Bowl. I know Mitch doesn't like that. I would love to watch the Rams win the Super Bowl, and that's what they deserve. This one's going to be a fun one. Bucks. If a I think pretty equally matched, but give me the home edge in this one. Give me the Rams, in which could be, if these teams stay as the top two teams in the NFC, what game if these teams end with equal records? If these huge that could have tough implications in week 3. So I think these are the two best teams in the NFC thus far.
Yeah, they obviously are both very talented. As for the Rams, yeah, I'm not a big Rams guy. Of course, everyone knows I am a Seahawk fan. I don't mind the Cardinals. I'm not a bit. I don't really care for the 49ers. I just can't stand the Rams. But I mean, I, this is going to be a very good game. Honestly, I think Tampa Bay on the road is going to be a very interesting matchup for the Rams. I think the Rams will make it close, but I gotta give it to Tom Brady. He is by far the best quarterback I think this game has ever seen. I have not seen a quarterback ever like Tom Brady before. I mean,
No, he's the
how
best.
I mean, the guy just he's 43, 44 years old and he's still playing like he did uh, like 5, 7, 8 years ago.
Singular.
Yeah, that alone is just ridiculous. But I gotta give it to Tampa Bay. I think just with the experience of Tom Brady, that absolutely loaded offense with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and that Brady Gronk connection has been hitting pretty big this year for Tampa Bay. And then you got OJ Howard still in there, both Fournette and Ronald Jones in the backfield. The Rams don't really have that great of a running back presence, and then Stafford is a fine back, obviously, but or back quarterback. Well, yeah, I guess it's still a back, but quarterback Stafford's still a great quarterback, obviously. But I'm giving it to Tampa Bay, and what will be a close one, especially since it will be at SoFi Stadium, which was insane when they played the Bears. But I got the Rams in a very close one.
Yeah,
And, uh,
same. Yeah,
or
the
not Rams. I'm sorry, not
yeah, the
Rams.
Bucks. Yeah, the
Bucks in the
Bucks.
close one. Yeah.
I'm so happy that all the Tom Brady haters have to shut their mouths now because they're like, oh, it's all because of Bill Belichick. Oh, the Patriots made Tom Brady left the Patriots, fell off a freaking cliff, and then he went to one of the worst ever. Won a dang Super Bowl.
Yeah. But now we have the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings have been off to a horrible start this year. Seattle's
Oh,
coming
heart
off
wrenching.
one, yeah, and a
Heart wrenching
heartbreaker.
losses. I was in the car, it was ending, and I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, this game is over. She's like, no, it's a chip shot, straight on shot. There's no way they mess up. Oh my gosh, they missed the field goal. And my buddy Dylan, he's a season ticket holder now for the Cardinals. His first game as a season ticket holder for the Cardinals was that one. And it was funny because he posted a video of him like, they missed the field goal, let's go. And behind him is just a little kid in a Vikings jersey just sadly holding his dad. And I'm like, oh, no, this is
Dang.
oh my god.
That's funny. But the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, obviously, that heartbreaker last week, and really just did not look good in week one against the Bengals. Really, two heartbreakers for Minnesota, as it came down to last second field goals both times, and they lost on a game winner to the Bengals, and then lost on a miss by their own kicker in week two. Will it come down to a field goal again in week three? Wait to find out. No, I'm just kidding. I think I think Seattle cleans up the mess. I think they'll win in Minnesota. Very disappointing last week. What happened last week with all that, and but yeah, I think Seattle cleans it up. I think they take this one in a close one. Let's hurry through this before my computer dies.
Also, yeah, now we got the Sunday night NBC game. Niners. The Packers looked good. The Pack is back. Chill, guys. They played this team at home. Give me this 49ers.
Yeah, after seeing what the Pack did against the Saints and then watching them against the Lions are a bad team, guys. They're a very bad team. Trust us, Lion fans. We all know. especially in San Francisco, I have the Niners winning this one. Close game, but I have the Niners. And then we have the Monday night game of the Philly Eagles on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is basically your NFC East championship. I don't see Washington winning it. I don't really see the Giants certainly aren't winning it. So it's a toss up between one of these two. Philly doesn't really ever stay healthy. I think Dallas is the better team. I have the Cowboys winning it close, and I think you just said Dallas as well. Don't think the Philly special is going to get it done for them. All right, well, that's me and Sam's picks for the week. Or not Sam's. I'm sorry, Savansky's, Jacobs. I was thinking of Sam when I was trying to say you, but anyways, that's me and Savansky's picks for the week. We will post Sam's picks on the Instagram channel account, whatever you want to call it. But yep, but that's all for us. We will see you next time. Adios, everyone.